All right, welcome. Today we're diving into a single chapter of the Quran that, believe it or not, connects the stars in the sky to the ethics of a simple argument. So yeah, let's jump right in.
I know. It sounds like the start of a pretty weird joke, right? What in the world do livestock, giant balls of gas in space, and the way we argue have in common? Well, the answer is packed into one amazing chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-An'am, and that's what we're going to unpack today.
So, first things first. Surah Al-An'am literally means the cattle. It was revealed back in Mecca, which was a time and place where the absolute core ideas of Islam were being laid down. And the name isn't random at all. It was a direct response to some of the cultural stuff happening at the time. You know, these superstitious rules people had about which animals were okay to eat and which were forbidden. But here's the thing. These weren't God's laws. They were man-made rules that people were attributing to God. And that practice of kind of making up rules and claiming divine authority is exactly the idea this chapter sets out to completely dismantle.
Because that brings us to the one big idea, the central theme that weaves through all 165 verses. And it's all about absolute, uncompromising oneness.
In Islam, this concept is called Tawheed, and it is the absolute bedrock of the faith. It's way more than just, hey, there's only one God. It's this radical idea that one single, unified source is behind everything, all of creation, all power, all authority, period.
And Tawheed leaves no room for negotiation. No partners, no equals, no co-pilots. All worship, all devotion goes directly to that one source. I mean, the surah paints this beautiful picture of its sheer scale, saying that not a single leaf falls from a tree without his knowledge. When you grasp that, it just completely dismantles the need for idols or any other kind of go-between. The line of communication is meant to be direct.
Now here's the really cool part. Instead of just laying this out like a textbook, the surah tells a story to illustrate it. And it's a powerful one. The search for truth by the prophet Abraham, or as he's known in Arabic, Ibrahim.
Ibrahim's story here is not about just accepting something blindly. No, it's basically a masterclass in critical thinking. It's about looking at the universe around you with fresh eyes and asking a very simple, very profound question. What is truly worthy of my worship?
So his journey starts at night. He looks up and he sees a star. It's bright, it's beautiful, it seems permanent. And he thinks, okay, maybe this is it. This is my Lord.
But then the star disappears. It sets. And Ibrahim makes this incredibly logical deduction. A real, eternal God can't be temporary. A God can't just clock out for the night. His logic is so simple and powerful. I do not love those who set. So the star fails the test.
Okay, next up, the moon. It's bigger, it's brighter, it feels more powerful. So he reevaluates. All right, this has got to be it. But of course, the moon does the same thing. It sets. And you can see his thinking starting to evolve here. He's not just rejecting an object anymore. He's now actively asking for guidance from some higher, unseen power.
And then comes the final test, the big one, the sun. He sees it rise and says, "This is my Lord. This is the greatest. I mean, what could be greater?" But even the sun, the very source of our light and warmth, isn't permanent. It also sets, and in that moment, everything clicks. Ibrahim has his proof. He turns to his people and says, "I am done. I am free from all these things you associate with God."
And here's his incredible conclusion. He realizes that God wasn't any one of these amazing things in creation. God had to be the singular, unseen, unchanging creator of all of them, the one who made the stars, the moon, and the sun. So he turned his face away from the phenomena and towards the source.
Now, a realization that big isn't just an abstract idea you file away. It's the foundation for how you live your life. So after the surah establishes who God is, it gets very practical about what he asks of us.
This isn't just about theology anymore. It's about turning that core belief into actual, real-world action. Because if there's one creator for all of us, it kind of follows that there's a universal moral code for all of us too. And this chapter lays out the big ones.
So the list starts right where it should. Don't associate partners with God. But look at where it goes from there. It branches out into principles that are the bedrock of any healthy society. Honor your parents, protect your children, don't kill, and always, always uphold justice and keep your promises. It's basically a blueprint for an ethical life, and it all stems from that one central belief.
And that brings us to our last theme. And wow, does this one feel relevant today? The surah doesn't just tell you what to believe and how to act. It gives some seriously profound advice on one of the hardest things we humans do: disagree with each other.
I want to just let that one sit there for a second. It's a direct command. Don't insult the things that other people worship, their idols, their gods, their concepts. And the reason why is spelled out right there in the verse.
And you have to understand, this wasn't just some abstract philosophical idea. This was revealed in a very real, very tense situation. The early Muslims were challenging the polytheists' idols, and the other side basically said, hey, you keep insulting our gods, we're going to start insulting your God.
And this is where you see the brilliant, practical wisdom of this rule. It's not about pretending you agree with other beliefs. It's a strategic move to protect what you hold most sacred. See, insulting what they believe might feel good for a second, but if their predictable reaction is to turn around and insult God out of spite and ignorance, then you've actually caused a bigger problem. It's a powerful lesson in choosing your battles and prioritizing the ultimate goal over a short-term emotional win. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? This rule isn't just about ancient idols. It's about how we talk to anyone who believes differently than we do, whether it's about religion, politics, you name it. It forces us to ask a really tough question. Is my goal to win the argument by tearing the other person down, or is it to try and open a door for some kind of understanding, even if we still disagree? It suggests that the way we talk, the respect we show even to ideas we completely reject, can be the difference between just creating more anger or finding a tiny sliver of common ground. And that's the challenge this ancient wisdom leaves for us today. Thanks for tuning in.